Cinderella, the Magic Slippers. Once upon a time, in a land far away, there was a beautiful girl named Cinderella. The kind-hearted Princess Cinderella lived together with Prince Leo in a wonderful castle. There was an old lady living in their country who had been working in a bakery for a long time. She baked the most delicious breads. But hardly anyone knew that this old lady, Xenia, was indeed a dangerous magician. Xenia would always go into her magic room in the basement, hidden from everyone else, to prepare different potions for those who ask for her magic. As the days passed, Lady Puffy and her daughters, Cassandra and Jezebel, were still pursuing treacherous plans to take over the magnificent palace. I'm sure there was some magic involved. Cassandra mentioned the magician named Xenia, who was secretly preparing potions in her small basement room. On the same day, Cinderella and Prince Leo were planning to organize a ball at the castle. I'm going to wear my glass slippers to the ball. While the preparations for the ball were taking place, Lady Puffy and her daughters were already on their way to the evil magician. They walked along a forest road until they finally saw a sign with some strange letters written on it. As they moved towards the sign, they noticed a tunnel entrance and entered in. In this mysterious tunnel, which was very dark, candles lit up magically as they were passing by. And a little further down the path, an owl appeared in front of them.
What is that? Wow!
Sweet rodents, who are you? What are you doing on this road? Don't you know the password?
Xenia, 1, 2, 3. Pour the potion quickly.
This is ridiculous. That's right. Follow me. I will lead you there. Flapping and flapping. Somebody turn on the owl door for me, thank you. Clockwise. Very good, ladies. Xenia, someone here to see you.
There were a lot of potion bottles around. Boilers, ladles, clamps, different herbs, plants, and tiny bats flying around in the air.
Mommy! This place is so scary. Ah!
In the colorful smoke, Lady Puffy and her daughters waited eagerly for the magician. Finally, Xenia appeared wearing a black hat and raised her hat to show them her face.
Tell me, what spell do you want from me?
Lady Puffy realized that Xenia was actually her sister, who she hadn't seen in years.
But you are my sister. I can't believe my eyes. Puffy, it's you. We thought you were lost. You are a magician now? Yes, now I can have it all. Tell me, why do you need a spell?
The girls told Aunt Xenia that they wanted to take over Cinderella's life. Xenia decided to use a very powerful spell because her sister and her nieces were involved. At first, she asked for a hair of each girl. and put it in a yellow bowl filled with some magical water. Then she took the footsteps of Cassandra and Jezebel with the help of a basin filled with mud. She took the water, poured it into the footprints, and at that moment, Cinderella's slippers appeared on the wall directly in front of the girls.
Hiccups of horses and the speed of a cat, Cinderella's slippers will cause her to fall flat. At the sound of Puffy's voice, the glass slippers will go, only where she commands them to step to and fro.
My dear, I'll give me a ball and watch how Cinderella will fall. Can play with her like a doll and watch how the magic will flow. Magic is my everything. I can rule the world with it. Magic is my everything. I can capture all that I need. Magic is my everything. I can rule the world with it. Magic is my everything. Magic is my everything.
Finally, it was the night of the ball. Cinderella put on her favorite dress with her precious glass slippers and went to the ballroom. Lady Puffy and her daughters watched Cinderella secretly from a corner of the ball. All right, magic slippers, let Cinderella stumble. When Cinderella suddenly fell to the ground. Of course, she couldn't understand what was going on. She stood up quickly, but her feet would not stop moving, and she kicked the ball guests as they ran around the hall.
No! What is happening to me?
Cinderella ran back and forth, to the right and to the left. Neither the prince nor the ball guests could stop her. Finally, she came out of the ballroom and ran down the castle stairs, but still couldn't control her feet. In the meantime, Lady Puffy and her daughters watched Cinderella and giggled.
Princess Cinderella is leaving the castle.
Whoa, look at her go. Hey, I wonder where she's going.
Oh, the princess is leaving.
What happened to Princess Cinderella? Those shoes.
Cinderella quickly ran away from the castle.
Get lost in distant lands, Cinderella.
When all this happened, Cinderella's little friends, Mozzarella and Cheddar, asked Fairy Leabelle for help under a hazelnut tree.
Leabelle, come here, wherever you are. We need your help.
Leabelle suddenly appeared in front of Mozzarella and Cheddar and flew straight to where Cinderella was. The magic glass slippers changed their color and turned red. Leabelle waved her magic wand to Cinderella's shoes, but it did not help.
Slippers of speed, not meant to be comfy. Stop when your path gets muddy and bumpy.
The fairy's magic phrases created a swamp on the road. The glass shoes got stuck in the magic swamp, and they stopped. But unfortunately, Cinderella began to sink into the swamp too.
Help! Leabelle, I'm sinking!
Leabelle waved her wand 3 times, and wings grew out of Cinderella's shoulders. Cinderella used the new wings to escape the swamp.
Thank you, Leabelle. You saved my life, but I will never be able to see my glass slippers again. The glass slippers were bewitched, Cinderella. Hurry, let's go back to the castle.
Fairy Leobelle gave Cinderella new shoes, and they went back to the castle together. Cinderella was very happy to meet Prince Leo and her little friends again. When Lady Puffy and her daughters realized that their evil plan had failed, they left the ball immediately.
Ah, the good ones always win. I hate it.
Cinderella and her loved ones always stay happy. The owl watched everything and told the magician Xenia,
Hey, Xenia, listen. The Sue thing did not work.
No! This can't be happening. How can they defeat a magician like me? Nobody can do that.
Whoa, calm down, woman.
One morning, while the treacherous wolf was hunting in the forest, he saw a stork family flying in the sky. He knew they had built a nest in the hills, and they had eggs in that nest. And that gave him an idea.
I found what to eat. Stork eggs. But I have to think about how to get to that hill.
And cuddled up warm in that nest was a baby duck, sleeping soundly. His stork brother rang the bell to wake him up.
Hey, wake up, duck. Quack, quack, quack.
The duck woke and jumped up.
Huh? What's going on?
We're going for a flight. Mama will check the eggs. Don't fall asleep and be eaten by the wolf.
Wolf?
Yes, 'cause you can't fly high like we do. So, see you later, little flightless duck. Bye-bye.
But little did they know, the treacherous wolf was already watching them and planning. When the stork siblings flew up into the sky, the baby duck tried to follow, flapping his little wings on the edge of the reeds. He hoped that one day he'd be able to fly. But his practicing was interrupted when he spotted something shining brightly among the reeds.
Ooh, what's that?
The bright thing he saw was a pair of red shoes.
How beautiful they are. I wonder if they will fit on my feet.
As soon as the baby duck put on the red shoes, he took off from the ground and flew high in an instant.
I'm flying! I'm flying!
The baby duck immediately followed the stork family.
Oh, look, the baby duck is here.
Wow, how did you get so high?
Thanks to my magic red shoes. Look!
Down below, the wolf was watching them in amazement.
Magic red shoes? Now I have a great plan.
At night, while the stork family and the baby duck were sleeping, the wolf sneaked up on them. The red shoes glowed brightly, even in the dark, and he stretched out his claws and grabbed them by the strings.
Tomorrow morning, first thing, I'm going to have a stork egg omelet.
The baby duck awoke as the morning sun rose, and he was alarmed when he couldn't see his red shoes next to him.
Oh no! My shoes! My magic shoes are not here! How am I going to fly?
The baby duck rushed to look for the mother and his siblings.
Mother Stork! Brother! Where are you?
However, he could not find them anywhere.
Now I won't be able to fly high without my magic red shoes.
While the baby duck was crying with sadness, he noticed the treacherous wolf flying overhead.
I'm flying. Here I come, stork eggs. It's breakfast time.
Oh, my shoes! The wolf stole my red shoes!
The baby duck tried very hard to follow the wolf, but it took all the strength his little wings had to take off, and then he would fall back down to the ground.
Oh, I have to protect the eggs from the treacherous wolf. Oh, if only I could fly.
The wolf landed in the nest with the magic shoes and stepped towards the stork eggs. The baby duck could see him trying to get the eggs, one by one.
The stork eggs are in danger. I must stop the wolf.
The baby duck mustered up all his courage and flapped his wings as hard as he could.
Eggs! I must save the eggs!
Finally, the baby duck was in flight, high in the sky for the very first time.
I'm flying! Yay! I can fly! Ah!
The baby duck landed and sneaked up on the wolf. He grabbed the shoestrings of the magic shoes and quickly pulled them.
What? The baby duck? Shoes?
Just at that moment, the stork family quickly came to the baby duck and drove the wolf away from the nest with a fury. The treacherous wolf fell into a swamp.
Help!
The stork family thanked the baby duck for saving the eggs.
Now you can fly as high as we do. Yes!
Then it's time to fly together as a family, kids. The baby duck was so very happy he could fly, and from that day on, he realized that he should never stop trying and that he didn't need magic shoes. He just needed courage and perseverance. So the baby duck became the only brave duck that could fly with the storks in the sky. Red shoes. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, there was a very cute girl named Karen. She lived in a tiny house with her mother and was a very happy girl. She would ask her mother about everything she was curious about.
Mom, what are these tiny lights in the sky?
They are stars, Karen. Everyone who lives on Earth eventually turns into a star and shines in the sky forever. Karen only had one toy, one dress, and a pair of wooden slippers she wore on the street. The wooden slippers her mother made for her were not very comfortable, but they were the only ones she had. One day, Karen's mother got very sick. So Karen went to town to buy medicine for her mother, and along the way, she found a pair of red shoes in a box on the roadside. The shoes shone so beautifully that Karen couldn't help but bring them home with her.
Look, Mommy, I found these by the roadside. Aren't they beautiful? Just right for me.
These may belong to someone else, Karen. You should immediately take them back.
But if they had an owner, she wouldn't have left them there with the box.
Maybe the owner dropped it accidentally.
Then they shouldn't have dropped it. I found them. They belong to me now. They're mine.
Baby, listen to me carefully. I may not be able to buy you new shoes right now, but I don't want you to wear someone else's shoes just because of that. Please, don't be stubborn. Promise you won't wear these red shoes. Karen sadly promised her mother not to wear red shoes and hid them under her bed. Months passed by until one day Karen came home and couldn't find her mother in the house. She looked all over until she realized that her mother had become a bright star. The next day, on her way to her mother's funeral, Karen put on those red shoes. Those who came to the funeral couldn't take their eyes off Karen's shoes.
No, How dare she wear red shoes? So disrespectful.
But Karen did not care because she loved her shoes. A good-hearted old woman passed by the cemetery. This old woman learned that this little girl was now an orphan and wanted to adopt her.
Come with me, pretty girl. I will do my best to make you successful and beautiful when you grow up.
So Karen went to live with the old woman for many years.
Karen, you've been wearing these shoes since your mother's funeral. You need to take them off now. They're so dirty. No, I love my red shoes. Oh, Karen, don't be so stubborn. Come on, change your shoes. I'll buy better shoes, I promise.
Karen did not want to offend the old woman who had been so kind to adopt her. So she finally took off her red shoes and threw them away. Days passed until one day, Karen was playing in her new room with her new clothes and toys, and the old woman brought her a new pair of shoes. But Karen didn't like these shoes at all.
But these are blue. Very ugly. I don't like them at all.
So for years to come, Karen missed her red shoes a lot. She grew into a beautiful young lady, but her stubborn attitude never changed. Even when the old lady brought her gifts.
I don't want to wear this thing, but I knit this for you.
I'll never eat this food.
Make me French fries. At least take a little bite, darling.
The old woman was very upset when Karen got up from the table without having a meal. She made French fries for her and took them to her room. At that time, Karen was taking off her blue shoes.
Look, see? All my things are so small now. I've grown up. Well, come on then. Let's buy you new clothes and shoes.
Then the old woman and Karen went to the store.
Oh, look, just like my favorite red shoes. I must have them. Let's get these. Karen, you don't need fancy red shoes. You need shoes that you can wear respectfully. Like, if we need to go to a funeral. I can only buy you one pair of shoes. Let's buy those black ones and go home. I am very tired. I don't care. If you don't buy both shoes, I'll walk barefoot everywhere from now on. Little girl, I wish you weren't so stubborn.
The old woman bought the black shoes for Karen and spent the last of her money to appease her with the red sparkly shoes, too. They had to walk home on foot. The old woman's feet hurt a lot along the way, and she could not keep up with the spoiled Karen. And Karen didn't care. She walked on home with her new red shoes. One day, the old woman told Karen that they needed to attend a funeral in town.
Karen, be sure to put on your black shoes. Otherwise, it will be disrespectful at the funeral.
Karen looked at the black shoes in her room, and then at the bright red ones. She chose to put on the red shoes. When they left the house, she covered them up with her skirt, so the old woman would not see the shoes. However, at the funeral, everyone saw Karen's shoes, shining brightly under her skirt. They spoke amongst themselves about Karen's red shoes at the funeral and about how disrespectful the shoes were. When what was said came to the old woman's ear, she got very angry.
You didn't listen to what I told you, and you put on the red shoes again. You're so stubborn, Karen. Show some respect.
A handsome young lord, passing by at that time, was struck by Karen's beauty. He came to her and went down on his knees and gave her compliments.
How beautiful you are, and so delicate in these beautiful shoes.
My lord, you make me blush.
You must be a very good dancer. I invite you to the dance night in the palace tonight. Please come.
With the happiness of the Lord's offer, Karen started dancing with joy. But after a while, Karen couldn't stop dancing. Why can't I stop my feet? What is happening? Oh! Karen started walking away from the old lady and the Lord while she was dancing.
Karen, come back.
Even though the Lord chased Karen for a while, he lost her. Karen's red shoes turned out to be more stubborn than Karen. They took her until top of the mountain and made her dance day and night for 3 days. Karen's feet hurt so much that she screamed at every step. Even though they got into the mud and prickly needles stuck, the shoes kept dancing. Enough! I'm very tired. I won't be so stubborn from now on. I promise. Please stop. Shoes, please stop. Stop. And when Karen said she'd give up all her stubbornness, the red shoes jumped off her feet, and Karen, too, fell to the ground. And the red shoes kept on dancing without her. Karen found a stick and managed to limp home in pain. Her legs hurt a lot. She started to cry with happiness when she saw her house. The old woman greeted her at the door. They hugged each other. I know I was very stubborn, girl, but I promise I won't be like that anymore. After Karen gave up her stubbornness, things started to get better. One day, someone knocked on the door. It was the young and handsome Lord.
Well, there you are, Karen. I tried to keep up, but you danced so fast. How did you do that?
Karen was glad to see the handsome and young Lord. That was the day the Lord and Karen's love began, leaving stubbornness behind. Karen lived a happy and peaceful life.